Episode 10 in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Target Score Brampton, the podcast. This is not episode 9, this is episode 10, and I cannot believe that they let us get to episode 10. I'm Matt Bonomi, he's D. Balsera. D, thoughts on 10, episode 10?
I didn't think we'd get here, man. I think it's a crowning achievement. They should probably hang a banner in the CA Center that we got to episode 10. But what a journey it's been. What we probably have... I mean, if we're optimistic, we'll probably have 6 or 7 of these left. So, I mean, if we go championship, we might get 20. So let's try to get to 20 episodes when it's all said and done.
Let's get something out of the way too. Last week's episode, we talked about a lot of soccer. Got a lot of feedback on that. Yeah, I was told I was not the smartest guy in the world for saying that the Croatia-Portugal game was the largest event ever hosted. Yeah, I'm getting flamed for this. Anyway, but you got flamed for singing Wonderwall because apparently you don't know the lyrics. Thoughts on that?
Hey, listen, if we ever play Rock Band, I can carry a tune to like a 98, 97%. So I'd like to prove my doubters wrong. I just need the words on the screen. Yeah, Wonderwall's not my strength. I'm really gonna don't look back at anger. Maybe, you know what? We need Target Score karaoke night. I'll show you how it's done.
Never heard of that song. But
oh my god.
Quick prediction. While we're
Do you know the band that sings that song?
What was it called?
Don't look back in anger and Wonderwall. Don't Look Back in Anger is another Oasis.
Is it Oasis? I did not know
Oasis.
that. I know Oasis, but I don't know any other songs. I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't tell you.
The generation gap folks don't know about on this podcast.
I grew up watching like Backyardigans and whatever that was too, so I don't listen to music. We never played outside as kids. Prediction though for FIFA quickly, because we were talking about England. England's playing Argentina. That's the biggest game so far in the semifinals, I think, at least. Well,
bro, France and Spain is a big matchup too. Don't respect the other side.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot more hype for the Argentina-England game. I mean, Harry Kane against Messi. England's dying for it. They need one. Argentina, recent World Cup winners not so long ago. France also. I think France is going to whack Spain. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be France and... I haven't been impressed with Argentina's wins because they've just been they've been beneficiaries of sort of the whistle, and I don't want to get into conspiracies. Like my big take about that Egypt-Argentina game is like, okay, sure, Egypt got jobbed, and you know there were certain calls that didn't go their way, but they still let up 3 goals in a span of like 10 minutes, right? Like you still had to play defense, and you still had to hold off that Argentina attack. You still blew the game. But like, yeah, did they get screwed over a little bit? A tad, but they still didn't do themselves any favors by letting up that many goals in a short amount of time. But I'm gonna go Argentina France rematch 4 years ago. We're gonna see it again.
And who wins it?
Oh, I guess by Sunday we'll have crowned a winner and come back here Monday and talk about it. I think France gets their revenge. They're too deep, man.
Nice. All right. So France is going to pick up another. I actually took France to win in our pool. I had Argentina and France in the final, and then I took France to win. So I think that's the obvious. Like, I'd love to sit here and be like, well, look at me, big soccer guy. But at the same time, I think those are the favorites, or like 2 of the favorites, right? So, and then the Egypt thing you said too is perfect. Egypt needed to close that game out. You're up 2-0. Doesn't matter what happens. You need to close that game out.
Yeah, I'm sad. I know you wanted England to win, but I really liked the Norway story, and it would have been fun to see in the Final Four. But great match overall. Crazy that Holland got pulled out in the extra time halfway through. But he's a young guy. It sucks for Norway fans.
He just looked bagged. All right, let's move on here before I get everybody in trouble.
Yeah, they're pulling the plug on us.
Founding father Joey Slattery's like, this isn't a soccer podcast, but you know what it is? It's the Target Score Pod. You can find it on Instagram, Target Score Podcast on YouTube. New episodes every Wednesday, constant content on the gram. You can also check out Target Score Winnipeg with Joey Slattery and Taylor Not Teddy Allen, and Target Score Vancouver with Chris Wiggins and Andrew Savory. Well, you mentioned Egypt a second ago not doing themselves any favors by not closing that game out. The Brampton Honey Badgers, record of 9-8. So they're barely over 500. They did not do themselves any favors this last week when they went to Montreal, 92-86 loss. That was Cam Tyson's return from Summer League with the Golden State Warriors. That was a sight for sore eyes to get Cam back. Came off the bench, had 11 points. Not his best shooting performance, just 3 of 11 and 2 of 8 from deep, which is his money spot. Good to see him back, but that loss was not so good, I would say, D.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's funny when you look at the box score. They were relatively same on both sides. Both teams shot 40% from the field, or 44% from the field. Both teams did their good job rebounding, 40 rebounds on both sides as well. I think one of the differences, and again, in a game that's this close and that was so close throughout, there's small margins where you can win. And I think the 3-point line is where Montreal ended up winning this basketball game, 12 to Brampton 6, which, when we see the best version of Brampton, they're hitting their threes, they're rebounding the basketball. And unfortunately, Cam Tyson couldn't provide the spark off the bench. And again, he's getting acclimated to a new role coming off the bench, also playing alongside, a prolific scorer in Flowers, and what he's starting to develop into. It became too tough. And the one bright spot for this Brampton team, and it was inevitable, right? Someone's gonna have to fill in the gap, the void that's been left by Sean East. Is Tyrese Hunter has been killing it. 27 points in this game, 50% shooting, 8 assists. He played really well the game before against the Scarborough Shooting Stars, had a sick buzzer beater in that game as well. So that's been the one bright spot. But Matt, we've been talking about there's little margin for error with the separation between 2 and 6, right? Brampton, Montreal, Ottawa, and Niagara, who's starting to catch on fire and had some impressive victories in the last couple of games as well. Only a game and a half separates all of them. So by beating Montreal, you could have potentially, shot them down a peg and have a 2-game lead on them. But now you're sitting at a game and a half separation between them and Ottawa, who are tied in the same record as well.
Yeah, this is where you kind of have to get down to the nitty gritty and kind of the sandpaper talk, where there is nothing wrong with Montreal as a team. Like, they are almost 500. They're 8-10 as we stand right now on July 13th. But that's a team that you need to beat. And it's nothing against Montreal. Again, they're not a bad team. They have a ton of good players. They're talented. And as Joe Razzo always says to us, the league is full of parity, right? Not patriotism, like the word I made up last week. Patriotism? Not patriotism. Parity. So anybody can beat anybody on any given night, but these are games where you look at your schedule and say, we need to win that game. Like, this is a winnable game. Our roster is loaded. We're good. We can do it. And the problem is, it's not an 82 game season where you have a huge stretch of games left to kind of figure out your roster. Like, we talked about that at the beginning of the season. Like, oh, plug and play guys, new guys coming in. Oh, we have time to figure this out. Well, Brampton only has 7 games left, and they're only a game and a half up on Ottawa, as you said. That could slip within 2 games, right? Like, by Sunday, they could be in 3rd or 4th. And then you start to think, well, Niagara's right on your tail. Are we even going to make the playoffs, right? And I personally don't think that will happen. But you get to that point in the season where you kind of feel the Reggie Miller. You get a little tight around the neck there. And it's like, okay, well, these are games we need to win. And they've dropped a number of those games this season, where, including the 5-game losing streak, where it's kind of like, okay, I get it, but the good teams will find a way to win those games when they don't have their best guys. And again, a lot of people will say it's about building up towards the end of the season, this and that. But that Montreal game was a game that they needed to win and would have provided a lot of separation. Because, like I've said to you before, when I look at the standings in the Canadian Elite Basketball League, I think there are 2 good teams in each conference, 2 star teams that pull away. In the West, historically, in the last couple of years at least, Winnipeg, Vancouver. Vancouver being the stalwart, like they're the team. Right now, Winnipeg, Vancouver. Half a game back are the Bandits of the Sea Bears. And then from there, Mamba are 3 games back of Vancouver. So you have 1, 2, and then a little bit of a drop, and then it's 3, 4, 5. Eastern Conference, Scarborough, 5 games up on Brampton. Then you have Brampton, who, as we said, only a game and a half up on Ottawa. So Brampton needs to build that padding between second and third and run away with it. And they are good enough to do that. The thing is, we just haven't seen the results. Like when I didn't watch that Montreal game, but when I saw the box score and I opened up my app after the game, I was like, whoa. I'm like, this is a winnable game. And I think it's partially because obviously you lose these guys to summer league and they're out of it and it takes time to get back into new roles, this and that. But like Cam Tyson, for example, we saw Cam Tyson ball out the whole first half of the season. Like that guy couldn't miss a
Mhm.
three. And now it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's kind of coming back down to earth where the law of averages is kind of playing out. Like we're seeing him 2 for 8, maybe like a 3 for 9 kind of game, like that stuff. And that's not the Cam we're used to, but you have to prepare for those things and understand that that's part of the game. And I think they're in a good spot, obviously. I mean, you could look at it and be like second in the East. Well, what are you talking about, Matt? You're a fool. But that could change again really quickly. And I think that was a game they needed to win. And I was kind of disappointed when they lost that game.
Yeah, and I want to make a correction. I think I said 1 through 6 in the East. Well, obviously only 5 teams in the East, but you talk about how the window is now closing. We're getting to the stretch end of the season. These wins are really really important. 7 games remain on the schedule, 3 at home, 4 away, and that's tough because with only 3 games left at home, one's against Niagara, who's starting to look like themselves slowly. I mean, they're still not completely there, but slowly starting to see the DNA there. And then obviously Scarborough's another one you got to see. So that's not like a chalk up win at home either. And so that's really tough because they're 6-3 at home, which is great, but they're 3-5 away, and you have to play in Saskatoon. You got to play in Winnipeg. You're gonna have to play a game in Scarborough, which is not easy, and then of course you got to play in Niagara, and we know that fan base is going to be lively up for that game as well. So really have to take advantage of these opportunities, teams that you should be beating. But it's also really, really tough when you introduce a guy like Flowers and then Cam Tyson's coming off the bench when he's used to starting. So he's got to get used to that. And then, I mean, we haven't even talked about Keon Ambrose Hilton, who's adjusting to a new role as well in this game, coming off the bench for, I think, the second straight game. 17. Oh, not this game. Sorry. In this game, he had 4 minutes of action, and he came off the bench. And there's this it's tough, right? Because normally he would be starting, but they already have great bigs in Hamilton, and Moncrief has obviously been playing out his mind, so you can't take those guys out of the lineup. And then you have this rule of having to play Canadian, and that's going to Brandon Muntu, who's took advantage of the opportunity last game, which we'll talk about against Ottawa. But it's interesting. I know we're sitting here saying they should have won that basketball game, but I'm curious if Serta's like, hey, like I, I'm also trying to figure out chemistry. I'm trying to figure out this roster. I'm trying to figure out my rotation. I think there's a really good chance that Sean East comes back. Just looking at the box score of the last game for the Cavaliers against the Pistons, he only played 8 minutes and only scored 4 points, and so he's not being given the fair opportunity to showcase himself and make a name. So I imagine he's going to come back and finish out the season. And so when he does, now he's got to get used to Flowers, who likes the ball in his hands in order to be effective, and has been able to do great. Part of me is optimistic because of the conversations we had with Trenton in our last podcast, and him saying that he's excited about playing next to East and being a complimentary piece, and coming in here and doing whatever is asked of him. But there's a version of this that's could get uglier because they don't know how to play with each other. But with all this, I know we're really down and being damper right now, but there's a version of this team that's going to be really, really good because of how good Flowers is. And so I'm excited to see what that looks like when East comes back. So it's weird. Sorry, I gave you like 2 sides, but I mean, if you know me, I'm a half glass full guy. So I'm always going to look up the optimistic side of things.
That's the thing too, right? I mean, I think you're right though too. I think there's like some conflicting feeling in this fan base right now because again, like every podcast you could put together a compilation of us saying like, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait till they have the full roster, wait till they have fun. And then it's like Sean is the last piece, or if Sean is the last piece, then that's what we want to see. And that might happen sooner than later as you do some good investigative journalism there. Well done. Going into the box score for the Cleveland Cavaliers Summer League. Are you kidding me? Pay this man, Joey. But it is tough because eventually you run out of you run out of space to kind of see this team play, or you run out of opportunity to see this team play. Like 7 games left. We're gonna get Sean back maybe in what, next week? And what do we have him for? Like 4 or 5 games?
Mhm.
So it's tough to kind of be like, ah, man, like I selfishly, as you and I fans of this team and being involved with the league, we want to see the best team all the time, as everybody does. Everybody in the front office, everybody in the coaching staff, everybody on the team themselves wants the best roster out there. But it's just tough because it's like with the full roster, this team could be neck and neck with Scarborough.
Yeah, and I mean, elephant in the room, right? Does this mean Jameer Nelson is done with Trenton Flowers playing the way he is? Because I don't think you can bring Jameer on this team, because now you just got too many good guards, right? And we're already
Yeah.
gonna seeing like we don't know how Cam Tyson's feeling about coming off the bench, because he balled out in the first half of this season, first 3 quarters of this season, leading the league in 3 pointers and making a case for himself and earning the right to start in basketball games and be the second guy next to Sean East. But yeah, once East comes, I'm really interested in seeing how um, Coach Serta tinkers with this lineup and what guys he goes with in his rotation. Um, but yeah, I really think it's difficult to tell Flowers to kick rocks if Jameer's going to come and want to play for this basketball team now. So some storylines that are certainly developed over the next couple of weeks with this roster. Are they done adding pieces? Who knows? I mean, we saw Dang Adele added to the Ottawa Blackjacks, longtime Blackjack as well. So maybe there's still some final pieces, but for those that don't know, I think you need to play 5 games in order to qualify for playoffs as well. So there's that part of it. If you're bringing anybody new.
The question I would leave, and don't answer this, the question I would leave the viewers, the listeners, is Jameer Nelson, reigning defensive player of the year, one of the best players in the league last year. If everything was working well for Brampton without Jameer, would you risk jeopardizing the mojo? Don't answer that.
Clip that, put it on social. We need to
Don't
know your answers.
don't answer that.
Yeah,
The
one more thing from this game. I don't know if we were going to wrap up or not, but this is Prince Odro's first game against Brampton. So shout out to him for getting the W, but also like 34 minutes started the game, only 7 points, 50% shooting, 3 from 6, but 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. If there was any indication that he was motivated for this game, it certainly was proven with the fact that he was just all over that basketball court that game.
And if there is something you could smile about as someone who is part of the Brampton organization, it's the fact that Prince is thriving. We love ourselves some Prince Odro. So
Of
good
course.
for him to get the opportunity and the win. Moving to the second game the last week or so, Brampton picking up the win in Ottawa. So they drop one against an Eastern opponent. They pick up a dub against another Eastern opponent, 105-98. And that was a sweep of the season series. So they took all 4 games against the Blackjacks. This game was all Trenton Flowers. We had him on the pod last week. We talked about him, and he said, well, just wait, just wait, just wait. I'm going to get my legs under me. I'm going to do all this. And he's dropping like 20 a game. Well, he had 31 on 50% shooting, which to you and I is, again, the greatest thing we probably could have seen on a basketball court for the Brampton Honey Badgers this time of year.
Yeah, Trenton doing Trenton things. He's good for 1 or 2 posters in the game, and I know there was a clip flying around of him getting a nice dunk in that game. I don't want to forget. I want to mention this now because I'll forget, but I'm not doing Tuesday's game with you. I hope that you'll ask Trenton if he was able to take advantage of being in Montreal and Ottawa and finding out what he was able to eat, because we found out that he is a big food guy, and he was really looking forward to visiting and taking in the sight and sounds. And I know the team is traveling today, so maybe he has a nice day in Ottawa. But yeah, it's funny. We were talking about how the the building was burning, but then they did win their last game against Ottawa, a big one. Because when you get to head-to-head matchups, this will be really important that they were able to sweep the series. They shot 43% and they still won this basketball game. And I say that because Ottawa shot 52% from the field and somehow lost this basketball game. But I think this has become the DNA of this basketball team. There hasn't been a lot of great shooting nights from this team, and somehow they pull out victories, and it's because of their rebounding. In this case, points off of turnovers. They were really able to capitalize on that as well. And then Cam Tyson looked like Cam Tyson, 15 points, 5 threes in this game, something that we're used to. And then I did mention Brandon Montu. This was the best game of his season, 16 points, 50% from the field for a guy that averages 6 points per game. And then the big bright spot, Tyrese Hunter, who's been averaging 20.5 points per game, as opposed to his 12.3 points per game that he's been averaging in the last 4 games. He's been able to get close to 20 in this game, 22 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. And you're talking about Jameer Nelson and the dilemma you have about bringing him, or you continue to roll with Trent Flowers. Well, then you also have a guy that's been emerging in Hunter in the absence of East as well. And how does that all work as well? So, for Serta, I don't want to say an embarrassment of riches, but you do have a lot to work with, and this is why he gets paid the big bucks, because he's got to make some tough decisions at the end of the day, and how he plays these guys.
Just getting paid in Earl's gift cards. The the thing that I think would summarize the last couple of minutes of us talking about this high or the low and then this high, I think it's trust issues, and this is why I say this. I think we have PTSD from the last like 4 or so years, 4 years.
That's a great point.
2022, they had 14 wins. That was when Brampton won the CEBL championship. That was the highest win total. Like we have 9 wins now. The last time we had 9 wins in a season was 2022. So here I am saying, well, you know what? I don't know. I'm a little scared about this. And it's like, they had the highest win total since 2022. And I'm freaking out about it. But I think that kind of is what it is. Like, we've seen the team revert back to, again, like they win a couple of games in a row in the past. And it's like, okay, well, and then it just drops back. And as we know too, the CEBL standings are like a deck of cards, right? They can shuffle so quickly within the matter of one sleep. So it makes
and
you
Matt,
think.
and to your credit too, like this team started out 7-1. So I mean, the bar was really, really high when this season started as well. So you have good reason to feel this way, because we've seen the best version of this team and we know what they can be. And unfortunately, over the last couple of games, there just hasn't been a level of consistency that we've been used to. So we set a high bar, and that's how we've been able to approach this season. And so we just expect more from these guys.
I just do not want the bar to fall on our heads at some point. So Brampton splits 1-1 against 2 Eastern Conference opponents. 7 games, as we mentioned, remaining on the sched. There are 3 at home, 4 away as of this Monday, July 13th. Last 2 games at home. Last 2 games are the home and home against the Shooting Stars, which is going to be a crazy part of the season for the standings. And then they've got a home and home against Niagara as well coming up. That'll be nutty. That starts tomorrow. That's Tuesday. That is the 12:30 noon camp day game. Kids are going to be screaming, which is going to be fun. Niagara coming off a
Joe's
sick
favorite
win.
game.
Yeah, Joe's going to be covering the ears. I'm going to have my eyes covered for some reason too. I don't know why. It's just going to be useless all around. But Niagara coming off a sweet win the other day. I was at that game with my buddies. We were up top watching, and 24-point lead for Scarborough at one point. And I was checking the betting lines.
Oh, wow.
You can bet on the CEBL somehow, somewhere. There's like an offshore betting account or app or something. So I'm looking at my buddy goes, I'm going to bet Niagara plus 10.5. And for those of you that don't know betting, that means Niagara needs to lose by basically within 10 points. Or if they lose, it needs to be by 10 points or fewer. And we're watching the game, and it's 24-point lead for Scarborough. Miles Powell's doing his thing. The big fella, Frank the Tank Mitchell's down there slamming it, doing whatever. And my buddy goes, man, this is over. I should cash out. Well, then the wind starts to pick up, and then everything starts to change, and then everybody
Did he cash out?
No. Rode
Okay,
it.
nice.
And it worked out well.
Only cowards cash out.
Yeah. So, and they have this thing at the Meridian Center, which we figured out the other day, $30 bottomless popcorn. So you get 3 tubs of popcorn at a time, and it just keeps coming around and around and around. It's great. Yeah. But anyway, we ate popcorn for free that night, courtesy of the Niagara River Lions. I don't know if I can say any of this, but hey, you know what? Great league. Gambling, don't do it. Only gamble responsibly. Must be plus 19 or 19 plus. whatever it is. Plus
The
19.
league
See, I'm
doesn't have a
thinking in
betting
betting odds.
sponsor, so you're okay. Well,
I'm think I'm thinking
I guess OLG's there, but yeah, we won't get into the
here I am
nitty-gritty.
saying plus 19. I'm thinking spreads, not 19 plus. Anyway, it was a good it was a good game by Niagara. They're on a heater. And again, like we said, anybody can beat anybody. That's 5 in the East, beating 1 in the East. And so we're expecting a pretty good game from Niagara on Tuesday.
Most definitely. Longtime vets, two-time champion with the Niagara Riverlines, AJ Davis also returns. He didn't play in the last game, but he got his ring, I believe. So congratulations to him. But yeah, we'll start to see him sprinkle in some of these games and make his presence felt. But yeah, you don't want to sleep on a team that's won back-to-back championships. Like, don't let their record fool you. I think Coach McKenzie has just been waiting to get his pieces in line here, and they know what it takes at this point in the season to win games and win championships and have impact and make a run before you get to the playoffs. I think a lot of these teams would say, just get us in and then we'll have a shot, right? We'll be able to put together a string of quality wins and win this thing. And so, because we've seen it time and time out, right? There's always a team that gets. I know we're not doing the championship weekend format anymore, but there's always a team that gets in. And I'm not talking about the host city because that's always been a joke, right? And the host cities unfortunately always had the worst record and just happens to be there for a good time. But there's always a surprise in there. I can count a couple of Calgary teams that weren't expected to get there. I can't remember last year's Final Four, but even Niagara didn't necessarily. Niagara, I guess, has had the best record for the last couple of seasons, so they were expected to be there. But you talked about the parity and what Joe said. You never know what to expect, and the good thing is, while we're not playing consistent basketball, we definitely have a lot of bright spots on this team, and we have a lot of players that can produce and give us reason to believe. It's just a matter of getting it together in time over the course of the next 7 games.
Last year's Final Four, Niagara and Scarborough, Calgary, Winnipeg, and then it was Niagara beating Calgary in the finals. That was the whole Vancouver controversy soup in the quarterfinals.
Right. We all penned in Vancouver in the finals, right? So yeah.
Yeah, we were eating that up. That was something to say the least. But Brampton's playing 4 games in 7 days, so we do not have a guest for this podcast due to a congested travel schedule. But you know what we're going to do, D? We're still going to do Target Time, and we're going to put you on the spot. This is a surprise. We didn't tell him to do it.
I was not expecting this. Okay.
I didn't even tell you. I figured, you know what? We got another 4 hours here. Let me burn some time. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay, let's do it.
I cannot believe this is happening right now.
All right, time now for Target Time here on the Target Score podcast. It is the slowest and most relaxed form of rapid fire you will ever see. D is in the hot seat for episode number 10. All right, D, first question. Coolest person you have ever interviewed? And for those who don't know what D does, you're either living under a rock or you don't have access to any social media or internet, but he gets to do all the cool events, social media host, just anything under the sun involving athletes and celebrities. But D, who is the coolest person you have ever interviewed?
I think we dabbled in this a little bit after the Mark Cuban interview, because obviously that's
Cuban flex off the top.
Yeah. But he's obviously in my top 3. But the other 2 that I mentioned in that podcast, if you want to go in the archives, is Jose Batista was one at the RBC Canadian Open last year. Such a cool guy, and obviously to be the in-game host for the Jays and having that connection with him to break the ice, that was great. And then I'd say number 1, and the irony of this one is because I am not a fan of the film franchise, and my wife still scorns me to this day that I landed this interview, and I've never seen. I've seen now 3 of the 7 movies, but Daniel Radcliffe I got to talk to at TIFF in 2021. But when I'd met him, I'd never seen a single Harry Potter movie or read a book. And I know a lot of people listen to this podcast and want to toss a chair at me, but great guy. Just Not a lot in common.
If you're watching, if you're listening and you can't see, I just broke the springs of my chair leaning back. 8 movies, D, part 7, 1, and
Oh, 8, right,
seven,
right.
part 1 and 2. Oh my gosh, Daniel Radcliffe could come down the street, slap you in the face. You'd have no idea what's going on. Who the heck the guy is?
You know what's funny, Matt? Last year, it was the last year or the year before, somebody told me if you start the first movie on Halloween and watch one every weekend at Christmas, like it's just a great schedule of programming that you can do for yourself and a good way for you to get through the movies. I did that up till 3 and I never finished it. I maybe 3 or 4, I can't remember, 3 or 4, and I just never got through it. And listen, this is not disrespect to the movies. I wish I watched those movies when I was younger, because I can appreciate what people loved about those movies and what they did to their, you know, their childhood and growing up. But I can't get as invested. The magic doesn't capture me at the same level, you know, where I am, and at the age that I am now. But you know what I will say? I'm really excited about the TV series because I think that will do me wonders, because that will create a monoculture. People will talk about it on a week-to-week basis. You know, they'll overanalyze it, whether it's true to the books and, you know, is it better than the movies? And so I'm looking forward to that dialogue and following it through that lens.
We were so sad you guys couldn't come to the wedding. We completely understand. You know, you were busy fishing with Bart Cuban. Well, not just the cubes, but we had Chris Daughtry, Jeff Probst, and Super Chef Bobby Flay. I mean, it was insane. I mean, it was almost too much. Step Brothers, D dropping the cubes in there. We had to throw that line in there. When Adam Scott, who plays Derek,
I was so confused, and now I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I love me a good movie quote. That was great.
That's amazing. I figured you'd get that eventually.
Did we just become best friends? Do you want to do karate in the garage?
Yeah. Not even if there's a fire. I love that movie. I wonder what Mark thinks of that movie. We should ask him if we see him again at some point. Okay. So you just talked about Harry Potter a little bit. What is your favorite movie of all time? No Mount Rushmore either. No Mount Rushmore. It's got to be.
I don't like this question because it's like, it's just like. Movies are such like a mood thing, right? Like you like what, your favorite movie, is it like the best movie that's made cinematically? Is it best movie? Is it most rewatchable movie? You know, the movie that had the most impact on you? Like it's a really tough movie for me. But you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish that thought. Then I'll reword this question for you.
But I will say the movie that is rewatchable, that you know, is one of my fondest and earliest memories of going to the movies, and is a mantra that I carry through and through. And this is kind of a throwback to the last podcast when we talked to Trenton Flowers. Like, I wasn't just geeking out about this movie because I was trying to impress him. Like, I legitimately love The Lion King, and I've seen the musical, right? I've seen the live action, I've seen the cartoon, like through and through. Like, you could toss that movie on, and I'll watch it at any point in the movie. So I would say, just in terms of impact and what it's meant to me over the course of my life, and like, you know, when I do have kids, like it's like the first movie I want to show them, when, you know, probably the most appropriate at a young age as well. But it would probably have to be The Lion King, as dorky as that sounds.
All right, you mentioned movie moments. What about if you were prepping for a CEBL game? What movie would you watch to get yourself fired up?
To pump me up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good question. Probably Bad Boys 2, just because it's like the combination of like really good action. You got Michael Bay, and then the comedy, because you know that I like to be a little bit of a clown, and that's where I get a lot of my my humor from, is from Will Smith. So like Bad Boys 2 would be like a good one that just like pop on my old Blu-ray or VHS and watch that.
You'll appreciate this. The other day, someone was asking me about Bad Boys, and I was describing the plot of the movie. And then I get to the end of it, and the guy I'm talking to goes, "Man, that's Rush Hour." I'm like,
oh. and you know, it's funny, and it's funny because like those are the two movies I was bouncing back and forth between. Can I ask you, Rush Hour 1, 2, or 3? Which one's your favorite one? Because I always get in heated debates about this.
if I could remember them, like I like the first one, I think, because I think there's so many funny scenes of like, and then I just think it's hilarious when Chris Rock's like, or not Chris Rock, oh my gosh, what's the lead guy's name, lead actor's name again?
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Even I blanked out for a second.
He's sitting there and he goes, Lee. I just love when he like, right, he goes, Lee, Lee the whole time. I'm like, man, I love that. It just gets me like, but I think there's so many funny scenes in the first one, like when they come off the plane and he's like, Yana makes, do you speak English or whatever? And then he's like looking at him and then he just speaks perfect English. Like, it's like,
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Man, that to me is like the scene when they're at the thing and he goes, you ladies want to get sushi or whatever, like stuff like that. I think is,
yo, I'm watching Rush Hour today. It's gonna happen. You've just inspired me.
Just amazing. Okay. You do Mount Rushmore to everybody. You like asking who we just had, like we said, Trent Flowers on. It was your Mount Rushmore of dunkers. He had some cool ones. Zach Levine was in the mix, who you I think also compared him to as well, and he agreed on that. But D, your Mount Rushmore of actors.
Ooh, this is a good one. Tom Cruise, Will Smith. Will Smith, Daniel Day-Lewis, number 3. It's funny, like it's funny because if you don't know me, you're probably just like, this guy's all over the map. Who am I missing, Matt? The 4th and final coveted spot. Daniel Day-Lewis, Will Smith, Tom Cruise, and see, when I think about this conversation, it's guys that you see that they're attached to a movie and it's like a no-brainer that you're gonna go watch them you're gonna watch them go see a movie, and those are guys like Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon to some extent now, like he's made a lot of great movies. But you know who I'm gonna go with?
Wait, let me guess. Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
What's the first letter of the first name?
No, if I tell you, you'll know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Denzel Washington.
Hey, yo, my man.
Was it?
My man. Yeah, you got it.
Really?
That was amazing.
Now people are going to think
why I
this is
want to give it.
scripted.
Damn,
I just
bro.
Googled Mount Rushmore of actors, and the
We
first
are
thing
in
that comes
sync,
up.
my friend. This
Denzel
is why
Washington.
This is why we are backcourt teammates on the podcast. I'd love. You know what? We need to play like the what is it called? What is the game the game
This
show
one?
that's like about couples? No, like the newlywed game.
Oh.
You and I got to play the newlywed game against those other guys and see who knows each other the best. We would crush them. We would crush
your
them.
wife in the background right now, shadow boxing, just ready to give it to you after the. She's like, D, what did we talk about? Marrying other people?
Listen. She's probably listening. She wouldn't have said Denzel's my last guest. So
It's a connection. Okay, that's a loaded Mount Rushmore. Okay, good stuff. All right, switching a little bit, going back to the basketball theme here. If you could play for one team in the CEBL, and it can't be Brampton, who would it be and why? I have an answer locked up too. I'm going to answer this too because I want to hear your opinion on this.
it's gonna be so weird if we have the same answer for the same reason.
We will.
I mean, it's a little inspired by your last trip. Like, it has to be Vancouver just because of the scenes and the vibes out there. No. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, for me it'd be Vancouver because like just the excuse to play out there, and I always hear about like, I don't know who I heard it from, whether it was Mitch or Kyle, but like the idea of like, they walk out of the practice facility and there's mountains there. Like, what's more, rejuvenating and hits all the endorphins more than that. So I think just looking across Vancouver, yeah, or you know what?
Yeah,
Joey's really sold me on the Winnipeg experience as well. No,
not that. I'm waiting for you to say the one where I'm like, yep.
Okay, so we're not in sync here. So I'd say Vancouver with Winnipeg being a close second.
I am staying Eastern. I'm going with the Shooting Stars, and this is why. If you haven't seen this yet, go online on their Instagram and check out their Indochino.
I knew
their Indochino suit setup.
That's the reason.
I think it's amazing. Drew Green, Drew Green's title with Indochino is what? Is he the guy that's?
I think he's
CEO,
like the owner or CEO. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the CEO of Indochino. So he hooked them up with suits, and they did this sweet photo shoot like a couple of weeks ago. And all I could think of was like they're all dancing and they're like singing and doing all this. I'm like, this just looks like the coolest vibe ever. Like, we got to get some matching suits for the next broadcast. But I think that would be kind of cool. But you have two awesome options. And the one thing I think we all always hear is Winnipeg and Vancouver, two of the best spots to play. Joey always talks about how popular the players are there. It's like literally like you're on a professional team. They go out, they're recognized. Joey was saying people ask him for photos at games too, which I don't know why. It's like firewood. And then Vancouver too. You raid outside into the mountains. Beautiful place to play. Why not, right? So I'll give you an Eastern taste on that.
But
side.
purely on aura, just on aura and aura farming, as the kids would say, like Scarborough's got to be the team for sure. Those guys, like, it just looks like so much fun to play for, Coach Vernon and that team, and they're just one cohesive unit. And I mean, it reflects in their record. Like, there's when you're in that building, when you're around that team, and you see the 14-3 record, it just makes sense.
Man, who was there Mel Gibson was at a game the other week.
Not the other week, but it was like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, he was there, right? Yeah,
and
Mel
then they
Gibson's
had
been there. Dylan Brooks was there. He chatted with our guy S as well. Yeah, MK, right?
I didn't even know who that MK guy was. I saw that guy on clips like forever, and then I'm like, CBL posted that. I'm like, what is it? So I guess that guy's from Toronto or something, or like must be local.
I don't know where he's from, to be honest with you, but yeah, he's the one-on-one sham god right now. Like, you can't beat him one-on-one, and he'll make you feel bad about it while he's doing it as well. So he's been at games.
He's from Newmarket.
Okay, so he's from the GTA, right?
Yeah, he played prep basketball in North Carolina. Anyway, yeah, so that three really good options there. I mean, like, nothing against the rest of the league, but you start dishing out mountain views and suits, then there might be a little more attraction there. Okay, D, last question for you. Sticking with the suit theme, one piece of clothing that you cannot live without.
The easy answer is like a pair of Jordans. Like, you look behind me, it's not very clean, but I just got a box of shoes over here, and that's only like half the collection that I have. But you know what's funny? I was literally just talking to my wife about this. A white tee. White tees are sort of like my go-to, just a basic
staple,
oversized white tee. I can't help but wear that in my sweat shorts. Like, it's just like, if you don't see me wearing that, like, I'm not comfortable. Like, I that's my go-to fit right now, and it sounds so incredibly boring, but like, just a basic white tee, oversized white tee is my jam right now, especially in the heat. Like, you don't want to wear anything too dark because you don't want to, draw in the heat, because we know what black tees will do to you. But I don't know if you're expecting any different answer from me, but like, my sneakers is what I'm known for. But right now, with it being the summertime, a basic oversized white tee from H&M is usually my go-to.
I figured you were going to say something like shoes or some like movie themed t-shirt. Like, you had was it the Lion King one you had last week?
That's the one I showed. I was talking about my Jurassic Park sweater that I'm probably going to wear today because the lead actor of the original, what is it? Sam Neill, he passed away today. So RIP. Somebody else who is just ingrained and embedded in my childhood. It's funny because I was debating between that and Jurassic Park and Lion King for the answer, because Jurassic Park is just so vivid in my memory, and seeing that in the theaters and seeing a T-Rex in IRL on a big screen like that was pretty, like, it's the reason I'm obsessed with dinosaurs still to this day.
And what about your Jordans? Do you have any like cool stories on a pair that you have that you like had to go like to the edge of the earth to get, or like gifted to you, or any cool like anything that stands out about any of those pairs?
So I have the Concords here. 1 second.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like when guys say like, I got the Jordan Slim Cut Grass like 2.6s. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I'm like, what?
So these are the Concords Jordan 11s, and these are considered like the holy grail of sneakers. Yes. And so like, I will never ever sell these, even if I need to pay for my kids' tuition one day. Like, I'm not selling these shoes to help them. Sorry, Sadna, if you're listening to this. But that's a funny story, because that's when I really started to get in the shoe game, and that's like one of my first big boy purchases where I spent more than I typically would on a pair of shoes. And I'll never forget it. Like, I was over at my friend's, and he's been a sneakerhead for a long time, and he's been eyeballing these. And for anyone that's had to go through the ringer to get shoes, like it's a very treacherous and very torture situation where like you go online, you can like, and if they're dropping at 10 a.m., you log in, and within like the first minute or two, like they're all gone in every size. And so for me, this is my first time playing the raffle game. I was like, okay, well, I'll give this a shot. Like he's talking about their big deal, and like if I don't keep them, like I'll be able to resell them. Like they go for so much. Like if you go on what's the sneaker
yeah, it's like that marketplace kind of thing
my,
for shoes.
what's the big one? This is so bad. I should know this.
I'm gonna look it up. I know what you're talking about. StockX.
Yeah, look it up. Right. Yes, StockX. So like, you know, you can sell these for like almost $500-600, right? So anyways, like to make a long story short, I log in and I got it on my first try, and he wasn't able to, and he was so cheesed. And I'm kind of notorious for my good luck. Like when it comes to like raffles and draws and stuff like that, I always seem to like do pretty. I bat for like above 500. I'd like to say. So to get these shoes, and considering the history behind them and how many people want them, I'm pretty grateful for them. And you've seen me pull these up at a couple games, so I'm not afraid to wear them like some people.
Do you ever like? When you proposed, did you crease a pair of Jordans?
Oh my god! I wish I had the photo. You can see my foot. Like it's very strategically put down. Like I definitely make sure I didn't crease them. That's hilarious that you bring them up, because like that's the first thing guys bring up when they see that photo.
I love seeing that on Instagram. Everybody's like, it's like a guy like proposing, and it's like, man, 10 out of 10 by this guy. No crease in the J. Like his like back of his.
My favorite's when guys actually like take off the shoe. Like they'll take off the shoes right before they propose, and it's right next to their bare sock. Like it's too funny.
Come on.
I respect the hell out of it.
Well, your wife is going to absolutely love this episode, and we love watching you hit the target time winner, D. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for setting me up, man.
All right, that's a wrap on episode 10 of the Target Score Brampton podcast. D, did you have fun learning about D?
I did. What a pleasant surprise. Thanks for spurting that on me. I was not expecting it. Hopefully my answers are not disappointing and respectable. If I have any hot takes, like let us know, fire off in the comments. But no, Matt, thanks for that. I guess I'm gonna have to spurn that on you sometime.
See, the people that say shut up in media, this is what it is. There's more to these guys than just what meets the eye on screen.
I'm not gonna shut up and hold my mic. I don't know where I'm going with that.
LeBron's clapping somewhere, and he's like, yeah, I love that. All right, special thanks to D for playing Target Time with us. A quick reminder, you can watch the Honey Badgers at home on Tuesday against Khalil Ahmad and Niagara. That is a big game, matinee, 12:30. That will be concluded by the time the pod comes out, but it should be a fun one. And we also have new episodes every Wednesday with new guests. Don't know who we're going to have next week. Maybe it'll be a surprise. D 2.0. Target Score Pod on Instagram. You can follow Target Score Pod on YouTube. Give that a follow as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do it all under the sun. And we will see you on episode 11.
Vamos, let's go Argentina!